What I mean by the latter is I've been listening to a lot of Sonia Renee Taylor. I don't know if you're familiar with her at all. She wrote The Body Is Not an Apology. And she's amazing, just amazing. And I have been we're using her book for our teacher training that's coming up. And so I've been just like voraciously taking in everything of hers. And she's so brilliant. And she talks about this ladder that we sort of all internalize. It's both like external and internal. And the ladder is the hierarchy of bodies. And we all sort of know, right? We all sort of buy into it, whether we realize it or whether we want to or not, that in this world, there's a hierarchy of bodies. Certain ones, for sure, are on the top rungs of the ladder. And if we feel like we're not on that top rung of the ladder, then our life is a lot of like scrambling to try to get up that ladder. And I was listening to Brene Brown. She said that if women just in like instantly decided they just like radically love themselves and don't need to scramble to the top of that ladder, the beauty industry would collapse faster than the airline industry did after 9/11. In one day, it would entirely collapse. But we have this whole world that's built on this ladder. And we're trying to climb this ladder. And so Sonia Renee Taylor, she was saying that like she said the ladder is imaginary, right? We all make the ladder. It's inside ourselves. And so what we've got to do is we've got to embrace not self-acceptance. She's like, I don't want self-acceptance. Self-acceptance, she tells this great story about being a little kid and eating pot pies. Anybody ever have those? We used to eat them like once a month. Yeah. And it's like really yummy, flaky crust, right? And some like weird compressed chicken pieces that were like, yeah, I dig those. But then I had all these awful little peas and carrots swimming around in the sauce. She says the sauce is the color of a Band-Aid. It's so true. And so, right. And she said, but, she's like 10 years old or something. And she's like, my choices here are I could just accept the peas and carrots and the weird sauce or what? Or like starve or get a job as a 10-year-old and make my own food, get my own food. No. So she says, that's acceptance. That's not enough. We don't want to just accept our bodies. We want to love. She's like, acceptance, that's inert, that word. It just lays there. It's just flat. Love moves things. Love is like, so if you had a choice between being accepted and being loved, what would you pick, right? We would all go for love. And so I encourage you all to read her book or to check her out on podcasts and things where she really goes in and she's got steps, like how do you do it? And one of them is mantra. It's really simple. And the mantra that I love is just my body is my ally. I don't know about you all, but I've spent many, many years at war with my body for various reasons and still do. But my body is my ally. And she says too, she ties it all in with social justice. She says, not a performative allyship either, okay? Like really, she says, I don't want performative allyship. And that's what most sort of like self-love, self-care out there is. It's performative allyship. But we want to go deeper. We want to be like radically in love with our bodies to the point where we don't need that ladder anymore, to the point where we can dismantle that ladder inside ourselves. And then we do it here. And then the one out in society, eventually that one gets dismantled too. And so I just drop that into your minds and hearts today as we move, and just kind of like anytime you feel inspired, we'll do some of it, just like touching your body and just breathing into this body and just trying to remember, like you're like the acorn. The acorn doesn't need like special magic creams to become an oak tree. The acorn doesn't need to climb any ladders. Okay. It just does what it does. And that's you too. Nature is so beautiful. It's so varied. And so breathing in and just breathing into all the ways that you might be different, and all the ways that you might have maybe fought your body or felt shame, and just noticing, did I do that just because I might have been different somehow, or because I don't have a body that resembles the one in the top of the ladder perfectly? And what would it feel like to start just walking away from that ladder imagining, it's imaginary, right? And so it's just like this dream, and it just starts to disappear. It starts to fade like it would in a dream until it's nothing. If you want to join me, we can chant Om, or you can always just listen. Breathe in together. Om. And then you could come to kneeling. And if that doesn't work for your body, then please take any other seat that works for your body. It's not so much the seat that matters right now, but it's what we're going to do with our hands and our hearts and our upper body. So take your hands, interlace them, and press the palms out. As you press the palms out, lift them up and find any amount of arch. Find a little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to take the palms, keep them interlaced, but start to press them slowly forward and turn that back bend into a rounded spine. And then adding on one last little bit here. As you do that, you're going to start to bring the palms in towards your belly and flip them so they face you. And when you bring your hands right to your belly, let your heart lift again and your spine arch. And so we're going to keep doing it like that a few times and add on some things. So you can start to press your palms out and up. You'll feel it starts kind of in a rounded, forward bending feeling. And then as you reach the peak, there's a tip up of the sternum and an arch of the spine, and then you bring it back through a rounded feeling as the hands come forward. As they come about to navel level, you just flip them so they face you, bring them right onto your own belly, and then feel just like, just radical nobility, radical elegance of being embodied in a female form. And then do that one more time. Press them out and up, feel the roundness, and then feel it start to turn the corner and become the arching spine. Bring it down. As it comes near the midline, turn the palms in, press the belly, and lift the heart. And then we're going to add on a little bit here. You can just release your spine, let it be natural. Release your arms, walk your right hand over to the side. Take your left arm up and over, and you're going to take a side bend here. You can really let your hips kind of swing on over there towards the left. They may or may not fall off your heels. Your butt might slide off your heels just a little bit. And then come on up, and we'll change sides. So the left hand comes down. Pretty simple to start with. Up and over, and you're finding that like crescent moon, that lovely crescent moon shape. And then come on back up. We'll do it all over from the beginning before we add on again. So hands interlace. They'll press forward. You feel the roundness, and as they come up, you feel the spine extending. And as they start to come down again, you feel yourself kind of burrow inward, draw the navel in, and then draw the palms towards the belly and onto the belly as you lift the heart. Just come to neutral spine, release your hands, right hand beside you, left arm comes up and over, crescent moon shape with your body side bending. And then up and over to the other side. I was lucky enough yesterday, I took a class. I love Zoom because you can take classes with people that you never normally get to take. Come on back up. We'll do it one more time like that, hands interlaced, and they press. So I took class with Rolf Gates, who's one of my favorite teachers, and he was talking about non-harming when we practice asana, that non-harming is just not pushing too far. Right? Just being so gentle, tender, bring the palms in, touch the belly, lift the heart. So radically not harming ourselves as we practice. Drop the right hand. We're going to change it up a little bit here. The left arm is going to come up and over, and then it's going to come all the way. Can you bring it all the way down towards your right hand, and then kind of scoop it underneath like a thread the needle, but it's a strange kind of awkward position. So you really have to check with yourself here, like non-harming, not pushing too hard, letting it just unfold. Let it be an invitation. And then release and come on up. You can take that arm like a rainbow coming up and over the head. We'll go the other way, same thing. So left hand down, right arm up and over. First, you just find that side bend arch, and then it's sort of almost like the gate closing. The hand comes down near the other one, and then you flip the palm to face it like you're scooping. You're scooping water. Scoop it through and underneath the left arm. And then let that right arm come up again, up and overhead, and just sort of pick you all the way up to where we started. And we'll do all that one more time, last time. So hands interlaced from the beginning. Press it out, rounding, and then lifting, and arching. Bring it back down. And you can go, you know, as gentle or as sort of dramatic as you want here. Flip the palms in, but always being mindful that pushing too hard is a harmful thing. And then go ahead and drop the right hand, left arm is going up and over, and you reach, and then you spill, kind of turn it towards a sideways forward bend, I guess, and then scoop under and take it towards a twist. Let that left arm unfurl back up towards the sky. Come in a big semicircle over your head and drop all the way to the other side. Last little bit here. Right arm comes up and over. And you turn the nose down. You start to melt down. Take the right arm, scoop it through and underneath, twisting. And as you pull the right arm out, it's going to take a big semicircle over your head, like the journey of the moon through the sky at night, and then come on up. As you come on up, you can come to all fours. I'm just going to let one more person in here. Come to all fours and just take some time to move your own personal spine around to get really inside your own body here. Another thing that Rolf said that I loved, he said that you can't think about something and be present for it and feel it at the same time. Which is always good to remember. Hi, Jenny. So we're on all fours. Come to all fours and just simple moving of the spine, nice and easy here. And we're gonna start to make it weird as we do on Fridays. So go ahead and just kind of come on up, build it, a downward dog, build it from the ground, set the foundation, start to lift your hips up into the sky, give your legs a breather, right? Ventilate here. What would ventilation feel like in your legs and your hips and your armpits? How about your neck? Any places in your neck that don't feel well ventilated? What could you do about it? How about your jaw, teeth, tongue, ears, eyes? Go ahead, roll out into a plank and then super slow-mo in one straight line. Bring yourself all the way down to the ground. Slow, slow, slow. When you get down, you're going to keep your hands on the ground, but just bend your right knee and kind of push yourself over your left hip and just reach that right foot behind you, but don't go all the way. Just reach it back. And then we'll do the other side. So come on back, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Same thing, just push with your hands, roll over the right hip, reach those toes back like you're dipping them into the water, and come on back. One more time. This time we're gonna go all the way over. So you're gonna bend the right knee, push yourself all the way over. As you do, step on that right foot and come all the way up to sit. So you end up sitting, facing the back, left leg long, and right leg is bent. You can hold on to your leg and kind of arrange yourself. Coming back to a place of non-acceptance, radical self-love. And then go ahead and take your right hand behind you, reach your left arm up. We're gonna do quite a bit of twisting today. And so you can tuck or you can hug or you can keep it always. You know, you're in charge of the volume here. And so you need to dial it up or dial it down. You take care of you here. What does a practice of radical self-love look like here? And then we're just going to reverse it. So as you let this go, you can start to turn with your hands back towards the left, falling back onto your mat, stretching the right leg out. And we'll do that on the other side. So bend the left knee, push with your hands, roll over the right hip all the way to sit, step on the left foot. There might even be a moment. I love this transition because it's so like, oh, kind of sexy. You might even have like a moment for yourself. And then as you step, then you kind of find that nobility again. Remember your divinity, and then take your left hand behind you, reach the right arm up high, and go ahead and find a twist that fits you. Find a twist that doesn't feel like you're pushing too hard. You know, you can stay in your twist. Did you ever like have a moment in your yoga life where you like didn't feel like you did yoga unless you got into Shavasana and you were just like toast, right? Like, and when you think about that, it's like, was that kind or was that harming? And I don't know the answer for you. It might be different for everybody. Come on back around. Spill back onto your belly. Stretch your legs out. This time you're going to take your hands a little wider than the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Come slow motion up to plank. One piece if you can. And then downward facing dog. And then just ventilate again. Shake out your parts. Move anything that needs to be moved. Let go of any need to fit into any other shape, to be on any other rung of the ladder than that which you were born for. What does it feel like to do yoga in the most organic way, like that which you were born to do? Roll out into plank. We're going to take that little sequence and add on as we do. Lower all the way down. Coming down, bend your right knee. Just that little reach this time, not all the way over. Just roll and reach, roll and reach. And then back, and left knee bends and you roll and reach. And now we go all the way over. Come back, right leg bends, roll and reach and step and all the way. Any other shapes that want to make themselves known on the way there. When you come up, you find this seat, hold onto your shin, get tall. Right hand behind, nice little twist, not too antagonistic or bullying, but just enough. This time, can you stay in this twist? And can you pick up your left leg, flex the foot, and slowly pick it up? And without letting it come all the way down, slowly bring it down so it just hovers an inch from the floor. We'll do that 2 more times. So left leg is slowly coming up. And down, and don't worry, you might get a cramp. I did yesterday when I did this. 1 more time, slowly up. And this time, put it all the way down. Whew, that's like your vegetables there. Go ahead and untwist. Roll back over the left hip onto your belly. Same thing, other side. So bending left knee, roll over, reach, reach, come all the way to sit. Arranging yourself well. Take your twist. Left hand behind, right arm goes over. Flex your right foot, right leg is nice and strong, and go ahead and lift it up, smooth. Think about smooth movement. It goes up, and then almost all the way down, but not quite. And 2 more times like that. It goes up, and almost all the way down. And 1 more time, slowly. I know for myself, I want to like, just fling it up there, and try to go slow, and down, all the way down this time. You can let it go, untwist, turn towards the right. Spill over onto your belly. Get ready. We're going to come from the belly all the way up to plank. So get your toes under, lift your thighs, lift your knees, plant your palms nice and wide. Come on up. Downward facing dog. And you know what? Let me come down to your knees just for a moment because I just want to show you what's next. It's a funny little thing we're going to do. So we're going to come forward with one leg. See, I'm just bringing the knee. It's not a pigeon because the foot is kind of like right under. If it was pigeon, it would be over there. But it's not. It's right behind. And so we're going to go 1 time. And now I'm going to be on my fingertips. You could be on blocks or you could be on your palms. But the back toes are going to stay curled. The front foot, I'm going to stay on the top of it and try to lift as high as I can and round, knee towards nose. 1 time, 2 times, and then 3 times. We'll do that. And after the 3rd time, we'll swivel that foot over and then do come into a pigeon, okay? So start in down dog. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. You can bring your right leg, first bring it up to the sky behind you. Just give it a good old wag and shake around. Again, ventilating, letting spaces open between the bones. And then bring that knee, the right knee is coming right up just towards your right thumb. The foot in line with the knee. And you can sit down right on that heel somewhere. And then keep your legs the way they are. Just press into your hands or your blocks or your fingertips. Lift your hips up. Draw the navel in. Rounding. Ooh, the top of that foot. And come on down. That's 1. And we do 2 more. 2, slow, smooth, and gliding. And 2. Last time. 3, go slow. This time as you start to let it go, you can just swing that right foot over towards the left and come on down. Now this pose is not for all bodies, right? If your knee is giving you troubles here, turn around and do it seated. Hook your right foot over your left knee like this. Otherwise, You're in a pigeon, and let's add some twist to it for today. So you can take your left arm, thread it underneath the right, and then you are in charge of you, right? How did that go? Is it too much? Right? If it's too much, come back to center. You could even just put your left forearm on the ground and kind of just have an upright twist where you don't have to smoosh way down. You could just lean on it. I'll show you this way so you can see it's kind of a fun variation to lean on the one arm, put the other hand on the thigh, and that way you get a little leverage too, and you can really use your own body to work with you and find this twist. And then slowly, we've been here for a little while, right? So come out really slow. Worship the ending of it as you come out. Plant your hands. Go ahead and step on back, downward facing dog. Give your legs a walk. And then from there, let's take the other leg. So left leg reaches high, any amount of shaking, stretching, curling, opening, closing, and then bringing left knee towards left thumb, the foot right behind the knee. Lower your pelvis, look up. It's like a little back bend. And then a rounded back as you press into the ball of the right foot in the front of the left foot. 1, and down. And 2, slow and gliding, and down, especially on the ending. And 3, almost every injury, this is a fun yoga fact, happens on the way out of the pose. As you come out of this one, let's turn it into pigeon. Right? It's like anything in our lives. We love the beginnings of things, those happy new love feeling. Endings we're not so good at, right? So you can go ahead and come down with a twist that suits you. So you can go sliding the right arm under and through, or you can just lean on it. Put your left hand on your thigh. Give a little press into your own skin here and turn. Patient with yourself, patient with your body. She was saying too, Kristen, your adorable dog is reminding me, as Sonia Renee Taylor was talking about how as humans, we love diversity in dogs, right? We're like, yeah, this dog and that dog. Or she said she went to New Zealand and they showed her some sheet that had 45 different kinds of cows on it. And there's no ladder of cows, like this one's okay and this one's not. So it's so crazy that we've decided only in us is there a hierarchy of bodies, right? We love all dogs, we love all cows, we love all flowers, we love all trees. It's just us. Come on out. Downward facing dog. Give your legs a shake out. And this time you can roll it out into plank pose. Take your plank pose all the way down to the ground. We're going to come to Sphinx here, so elbows down. As you come into your Sphinx, we're going to do that same kind of thing that we did rolling over and reaching, but this time, we did this a couple weeks ago, I think. So you're going to take your right leg, bend. This time, point your toes and just pressing into your forearms. Reach, reach, reach around. You roll over that left hip and just reach back as far as you can, and then come on back. And we'll do that with the other side. So bend the left knee, roll over the right hip, reach it back. Feeling how far can you go keeping your elbows down, your forearms down. Come back. And then this time you can try, watch for 1 second, one more second here. So you can just hang out in Sphinx and watch for a sec. So I'm going to bend the right knee. I'm going to roll over and I'm going to try to come all the way into something like, can you see, where this leg is bent. And I'm going to open it out to the side. If this doesn't work for you, there's always an option. You could just fold your leg inside like Janu Shirshasana, okay? So don't stress about having to get anywhere. This is not a ladder. This pose is not a ladder, okay? Anywhere you are is good, but let's try it. So you're on your forearms. You're going to bend your right knee. You're going to try to bend it a lot. See if you can really pull the heel towards the sitting bone so that as you reach back, roll over the left hip. You're trying to land on the top of that foot. See if you can get the top of your right foot on the ground and turn all the way to sit. It's probably not perfect where you ended up, and that's great. We love imperfection. Perfectionism is crippling. So then you can tuck that right foot in a little more. You can open the knee a little bit wider. And let's go sideways here. And so you can start to take your right arm up and over. So I'm going to show you something here, which may or may not fit your body today. But if you want to take your left arm under your pelvis to grab your ankle, your right ankle, you could do that. If that seems like super crazy town, forget I ever said it, okay? So your left hand can be on the ground, or I could scoop under and grab your right foot, and you're side bending and you're trying to remember, I'm not harming, I'm not here to harm myself. I'm not here to make war with this body. I'm here to invite it into allyship. My body is my ally. Good. And then you can release the arms and just float your way all the way back up. Just pause to feel the resolution when you come up. There's that amazing feeling sometimes when you come out of a pose, the rebound, the echo. And then how do we get back, right? That's the question. Where are we? How do we get back from here? So if you start turning towards your left, and think about bringing your forearms back down towards the front of your mat. What happens? Can you undo it and roll back onto your belly? Or maybe it didn't happen like that, and it's fine because we get another chance. Bend your left knee. Pull the heel towards the sitting bone and start to pick up the knee and reach. And you're leaving your forearms on the ground as long as you can, reaching and trying to think about the top of that left foot coming to the floor, and then eventually you let the forearms come up and turn all the way around. And then you adjust, make some little things, make observations. What best suits me? Could I pull the left foot in, or do I need to swing it around in front? Can I open the knee away from the midline a little bit more? Do I want my right hand under the hips, grabbing the foot? Or do I want to just rest it on the ground? And then go ahead and find your side bend. Come on up. As you come on up, that left arm kind of pulls you back up. Start to turn your whole body to the right. Think about your forearms coming back towards the front of the mat. Slow motion. Spill your way back onto your belly. And just because that was kind of weird, right? And at first it's always like, let's just do it one more time. One more time each side for good luck. But also for sweet smoothness and friendliness with it. So your instincts, bend the right knee. You can go a little faster this time, but no rushing. So you're going to pick up the leg, reach back to see what happens. Pull the foot towards the sitting bone as you roll all the way over. Then come right into that side bend. So rearrange your legs well. Come right into your Parshvajanu Shirshasana. Stretch up and over the left leg. And then come on up. Come on up and undo it, turning towards the left, bringing your forearms back down, spilling down onto your belly. Change sides, Sphinx first, bend the left knee, reach the left leg back, reach, come all the way around. Open the legs a little wider from each other, take your Parshvajanu Shirshasana up and over. And then come on up. As you come on up, turn back towards the front, forearms down, spill down onto your belly. Nice work. Just pause. Just make cactus arms. Turn your head to one side. You can bend one knee, slide it up towards the outside of your hip. So you're in a one bent leg, prone shavasana for a breath or two. One more deep breath in and out, and then just switching the legs. And if it's okay, you could also switch the direction that your head is facing. So if you have one knee bent, you straighten it. Then the other, turn the head the opposite way. Some heads don't like to go the opposite way. So if you're that head, keep your head the same way. Come on back through center, 2 long legs. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders. Come up to hands and knees and just swim your spine around a little bit. I'm gonna head in towards another downward dog and a little bit of lizard action. So take your toes, tuck them under, lift your hips up. And bring your right leg a little wide. You could step it outside the right hand. Come on down with the back knee. Here's where you might want a blanket under it, perhaps. And we're going to come up first. Take the hands to the front thigh and come up to kneeling on it. And then just like we did in the beginning, hands are going to interlace. Press the palms forward. Feel a rounding of the spine. And then as you reach the arms up, still interlaced, you feel arching, any amount of arching in the spine. Just like we did in the beginning, the arms come back down to center. They stay interlaced. As they come about chest level, you can flip the palms to face in, bring them right to your own belly. Lift your heart. One more time like that, palms forward. And palms up, spine arches. And palms forward, a little rounding. And they flip and come to the belly and the spine arches. And then we're going to take that same side bend too. It's all a sort of a mirror of what we did in the beginning. Take your right hand towards the outside of your right hip. And here's where a block might be helpful too, or anything to bring the floor to you. And you could reach the left arm up and over. And that's probably about as far as it'll go. I don't think we'll be able to get all the way down to that twist, but maybe we could try, right? There's no harm in trying. So you're gonna start to let your left arm sort of melt down towards the right hand. And maybe there's even a teeny, it's probably not very much, right? Teeny little bit. Oh, I've got like one tip of a fingernail through there. And then let that left arm, like a big rainbow over your head, come lift you all the way back up. And let's pull back the hips and straighten out that right leg. Whoa, are you feeling a lot? Oh, what a gift to feel a lot, huh? You can fold to the inside slightly of that right leg. You might hold the foot. You could flex and point that right foot. It's all yours to sort of add the beads to here. You get the string and then you add your beads to it. And then coming back up, let's take 2 hands inside that right foot. So we're coming back towards this lizard position. And can you tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee up? And then how low would your heart be able to go here? Maybe this is as low, or maybe you even want some blocks here. But if you could, you might bend your elbows. You could peer either direction with the head, whatever feels most natural, and sort of get like real lizardy low for a moment. And then we're back to downward facing dog. Feel the echo, feel the resolution. Feel the diversity of your body's landscape, the wildflower field of your heart, the mountain of your spine, the oceans of your feet. Go ahead and take your left leg, step it wide. So step forward a little wide. Put the back knee down, pat it as you need to. And then coming up to stand, hands on that left thigh, just to get yourself situated here first. And then clasping your hands, adjusting if you need to. If you need any amount of support, you could even pile up a whole bunch of blocks here under your front leg and take it almost restoratively. Hands are going to interlace and press forward, and you feel the rounded back, opening the back of the heart. And then up to the sky and feel the front of the chest stretch. And then come back, bring the hands forward, press them forward, feel the back heart stretch. stretch. And then turn them towards you. Touch your belly. Feel a front heart stretch. One more time like that. Press forward and out. Round it back. And up they go, arching spine. Bring them down to chest level, round your back. Flip the palms in, bring them to the belly, lift your sternum. And then let's try dropping left hand to the block or to the floor beside you. And the right arm coming up and over for a side bend. And then thinking any amount, doesn't have to be a lot, any amount, you're melting. Right hand, left hand, right hand towards left hand. And then maybe even thinking about, ooh, under there. It doesn't go very far. It's very humbling, isn't it? And then come on out of it slow. Let that right arm draw a big half moon across the sky. Let it pick you up. Worship the ending. Bring your hands down. Draw your hips back. Ooh, straighten out that left leg to whatever degree it'll straighten and fold over it or just inside it. So when you do come out of this one, we're going to come out of it and take the hands inside that front foot, tucking back toes under, lift the back knee, and then any amount of moving your chest in the direction of the earth, any amount, even if it's invisible, even if it's imaginary. And then back, downward facing dog, and this time take it down to a child's pose. Arms can be out, they can slide down. You know what I've been loving lately is child's pose with they call it the hugging child's pose, where your arms go through the hole between your legs, right between your thighs, and kind of reach back. And they're just resting. You can see my fingers kind of dancing. They're just like the back of my hand kind of rests in the arch of my foot, but I'm not sure where yours are going to end up. But coming into this just little snuggle pose. If this one doesn't suit you, do it your way, okay? So we're going to come on up and just touch your hands. You can come to kneeling. If you need to change your seat, you can sit any other way. Touch your hands somewhere on your body, heart, belly, both, anywhere. Know what it's like to be inside your body in this moment. I am my body's ally. My body is my ally. It is beyond performative. It is deep. No more war. So let's perhaps think about a split or somewhere, anywhere along the way to it, because any stop on that train line, you're still on that train line, okay? There's not like an end of the line that's better than any other stop, okay? So coming, you can have your blocks and props and things if you want to use them. You could come to down dog and step your right foot forward. You can put the back knee down. And then there are different ways to work it. And the way I kind of prefer lately is to take the back leg back versus trying to stretch the front leg all the way forward. Is what about keeping the front knee bent and just taking the back leg teeny little increments, sliding the back leg back and just seeing where you end up there. Or you could do a little bit of each. You could do a little bit of back leg back, a little bit of front leg forward. And there's no magic prize that you get when you get to the floor, right? That's just like the top of the ladder that I've been talking about. It's like, you don't actually win anything. So, you know, look, I've been at the top of this ladder. Here it is. It didn't actually help me that much in my life, but it's fun to just play with the body and try different things. So let's pull it back in, bring it back to the hands and knees and try the other side. Take your time with it. Remember that overworking, pushing too hard is a form of violence, right? I talk about that a lot in class. Like we need to rest. We need to go slow. Otherwise, our liberation is going to stay far away from us. So front leg can bend, back leg can start to slide back, and you mount. Just sort of linger wherever you feel called to linger in this one. Keep it moving, kind of like a constant snuggle, wiggle, waggle, like you're a little fluffy puppy. Or you could be very clear and mathematic and still. What's your inclination? And then you could call yourself back. You got to kind of call everything back from the edges to the center. Bring it all in. Child's pose. Snuggle down low. If you like that hugging child's pose, you could thread your arms through the thighs and reach them back, and just stay for at least 3 breaths. Let's stay 4 here. And then as you begin to come out, there's no rush. Take another breath or another 2 breaths, and we're going to end up on our backs. And so you take your time getting there, coming onto your back, and you could just take it, basically it's child's pose upside down. Just come onto your back and hug your knees. I always find this really interesting, that our bodies are so different. So like even our organs are different. Some people have big livers, some people have little ones, and some people have really different thigh bones and hip sockets. So pull your knees together, press them together, and try to pull them towards you. And does that feel like, yeah? Or is that like, oh, make it stop? And then you can open them wider and pull them in. And same thing, is that, yeah, or make it stop? And maybe it's all, yeah, or all make it stop. But we're all different. Just knowing that, like some people, like I'm one of those people. I cannot pull my knees together and press them in. So painful. Other people can't go out of it. All different bodies. Go ahead and drop your knees over to the right. Let them just drop stacked to start with. And then we'll build this little by little. The cat pulling its tail. You could take your left leg and wrap it around and over your right leg and start to move your right knee back in space. So kind of just like we did when we were on the forearms, and like reaching the top of that foot back. Pull the heel towards the sitting bone and reach that knee back. And maybe, this is just a maybe, but maybe your left hand might reach down to grab that right foot, but it certainly doesn't have to for you to still be on the same train line as us. And then also just a super maybe, the top leg, the left one might stretch out and you could hold it. So it might, there's a possibility that this could be an option. There's also a possibility that just soft and more of like pinwheel legs could be an option. And just softly letting that all undo, roll onto your back, and just for a moment, savor the ending here, the rebound. You can take that same thing on the other side, but starting real simple. So just pull the knees in and drop them over to the left. Make sort of cactus arms for a moment. And then you start by sliding that right knee a little more up, and the left knee goes back and down, and they move away from each other. You're trying to pull left heel towards left sitting bone, reaching back, and that maybe that's plenty, and you just let it get soft here. Maybe if you feel inspired, you reach right hand for left foot, and come on back down, or maybe even left hand for right foot. See, I've got a pillow under my top foot here. A bolster, block, anything to bring the floor to you could be nice here too. Or cat, put your foot on a cat or a dog. Another 2 breaths here. Stay if you can. If you need to let go sooner, please do. And you can start to bring it on back home. Just let it dissolve. Let it just organically fall apart. And onto your back, or you could hug your knees in one more time. Rock it around a bit. Maybe you like the knees close and tight, or maybe they've got to stay further. And then go ahead and hug your knees in and bring yourself all the way up to sit. You can rock and roll your way up. And just a simple Baddha Konasana. Seal it in today. So feet together and any amount of bringing the hips and the heels close. And then letting yourself spill, just really soft and round and gentle. You could spill over the legs and let the jaw loosen and the head be nice and heavy here. Stay another couple breaths. I want to read you her. She's got 4 mantras for radical self-love when it comes to your body. I love my body. Simple one. I love my body. Simple, but not so much, right? I love my body. I'm a vessel of radical self-love. My body is my ally, and I have the body I need to live my best life. Come on back up, and you could close your knees together and just give yourself one last big snuggle hug. Touch your hands to your knees, shins, ankles, anywhere, reach around. Just snuggle in, and then roll down. And as always, if there's anything else that your own personal body temple needs, you go ahead and take any amount of time here. Otherwise, you can start to move your way towards the Shavasana without any urgency or rush. You need more of something, take it. And as you do, get ready for Shavasana. You might put a blanket under your knees if you have one, or use something maybe on top of you is nice, especially in this season. I don't know about where you are, but where I am, it's really windy today. Not you, Thea, I know. It's just hot, hot, hot. I'm jealous. But in the Northeast, it is very windy, biting cold. And so having something on top of you to kind of weigh you down can be nice so you don't internally blow away. But if you're in the Florida Keys, you could put something underneath you. Let yourself be like water over a stone. When any part of our body is left out of our love and appreciation, that has an effect. When any part of us is not accepted, it has an effect. So could you try to feel your body as a whole, complete entity here, alive with sensation and vibration? the whole thing, your beloved ally. Feeling the breath begin to light you up little by little. Start to call it in. Start to feel the lights turn on inside your house, your inner house. Your toes and fingers wiggle. Your eyes might blink. Your head could rock. Noticing every tiny movement, every sensation. Rumi says your deepest presence is in every little contracting and expanding, to as gracefully balanced as bird wings. So feeling every little contraction and expansion as you start to climb your way back to the world, you and your beloved ally. If you want to stay, please do stay in a longer shavasana. That's always an option. Otherwise, we could sit together for a moment, touch a hand to the body somewhere, anywhere that feels right. Thank you.